because you could set the ground itself alight. Now I'm only cooking one leg here. You could cook a whole deer this way, and I quite often do that, but even a big feast of many animals could be cooked in this manner. What I'm going to do now is just going to put a lid on top and put these sticks across here, green sticks so they won't burn. I can already smell the meat beginning to cook. Beautiful. Now I'm going to cover it with moss. Push that all down. Now I'm going to cover the whole thing with sand. There we go. Well, the sand makes an airtight seal. One hind leg of roe deer rocks as hot as that. About 2.5 hours, I'd say, in our measure of time. And while that's cooking, I think we'll have a Stone Age seafood starter. If you like seafood, there's no reason to starve on this shoreline. Far from it. Just a few minutes collecting and you've got plenty of food. I remember being up in Alaska with Alaskan Indians, and they have a saying there that when the tide is out, the table is set. And that's how it must have been for our ancestors too. It's no wonder that those early communities clung to coastlines. There we go. Get your limpet removing tools here. Perfect, absolutely perfect. To cook the limpets, I can encourage them to clamp down onto this flat rock. Like that. Flatten out the sand. And I'll take these, got a couple of razor clams there. Beautiful mussels up here, some really large ones. Put a few cockles in now. And I'll put the other razor fish there like that. Put this rock in there, set it down at the same height. And now with the hot ashes straight across the top of there. They'll only take a few minutes to cook like this. I have to say I'm really partial to this sort of Aboriginal cooking. Very simple, minimum of food handling, food cooked very hot, very quickly after it's been gathered. It's a very healthy way to cook. And now I can just carefully remove the ashes. Oh, there we can see the limpets now. Beautifully done. Be very careful now because shellfish really, the shells really hold the heat. And there's our limpet beautifully cooked. We'll just clean him off and pull off the black bubble on top. Just pull all that off. There. And we eat that orange meat. It's chewy, but it's really good flavour. Fantastic. That razor clam there, that's all he's done. I don't know why we don't eat more of these in Britain. The French sell them, even in Paris you can buy these. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, that is fantastic. That cockle looks like he's just about done. Oh, that is definitely my favourite seafood. Fantastic. That really tastes of the ocean. Wonderful. And what I'm doing here, cooking like this is a scene that repeated itself around the coast of Britain for millennia. We know that because when our ancestors had cooked this way, had these meals here, perhaps as big families, they took the shells and they literally threw them over their shoulder. And they did that for so long that huge heaps of these shells built up, billions of shells from meals eaten over thousands of years. Some of the biggest of those midden mounds, as we call them, are found up here on the west coast of Scotland. I think it's fascinating. And in those mounds you also find other things. You find deer bones, wild boar bones, even the remains of seals, giving you some idea of the diversity of their diet. I don't know, maybe it's time to start a new midden mound. Once I start to get down to the moss, I'll start to roll it back carefully. A lot of heat in there. Be careful not to burn yourself. Oh, the smell! If you could only smell this. You can see how the sticks have cooked. There's the meat. That looks beautifully cooked. Oh, if you could smell this. Fabulous. There we go. And a piece of flint, and we can do a little bit of crafty carving. Now, on this occasion, my sound recordist, Andy, has insisted that he is to taste some. So, we will oblige.
Thank you. Excellent.
Andy, always master of the understatement.
It's so tender when you cook meat this way. Unbelievable.
Bushcraft never wastes a resource. From the fire used to heat the rock oven came embers to bake my shellfish, and with this ever useful horse's hoof fungus I can now carry that fire with me. If you're living a nomadic lifestyle, it's a top labour-saving device.
We know from archaeological evidence that our ancestors made very good use of rocky outcrops and caves all over the country. They are ideal places to find shelter and also from protection against wild animals. Even in this little cave, which doesn't look very good to sleep in, there have been stone tools found. So there was evidence that people were here, and these rocks once rang to the voices of our earliest ancestors.
Using the fungus ember is a very quick way to light a fire. They can smoulder for several hours, so a large fungus could be your prehistoric firelighter for a day's trek.